Employers last week revealed that 1 million people could lose jobs in the near future. FKE attributed this to the inability of most of 1,000 firms surveyed to sustain businesses post-Covid-19. The survey revealed that the government mitigation measures were not as effective in averting the effects of Covid-19 on employment. Now, to talk more about this, I'm now joined by Stephen Obiro, Head of Advocacy, Communication and Partnership at the Federation of Kenya Employers. Good afternoon, Mr. Obiro. Thank you so much for joining us on News Desk.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Great. Straight on, talk to us more about the findings of this survey, sir.
We conducted a survey in the month of August, and we were looking at what was the COVID-19 impact on the employment between March, when we had the announcement of COVID-19 being in the pandemic outbreak in Kenya, and up to end of July. In that period, we established that 8.3% of employment in the formal sectors among our members had been lost, wiped away. If you do the calculation, 8.3%, and you look at the formal employment that we have, you realize that we are talking about over 173,000 jobs that have been lost. And to put that into perspective, that means we have lost about 80% of formal jobs created in the modern sector in the last 5 years. Now, when we asked the employers what is the situation looking into the next six months, they indicated that about 51% of them indicated that they don't have enough cash or funds to be able to pay and sustain the wages until in the next 6 months. And so what does that mean? It means that the income of over 1 million employees is at risk of being reduced, if not lost. And that is a very sorry state of in the labor market. What the survey revealed is that the employers have been hit very hard in 3 aspects. One, on their financial capability and cash flow, and then second, on the operations, and then third, on their supply chains. And because of this, they are in a precarious situation where they're not able to afford payment and sustained payment of the wages. They have, by and large, because of the memorandum of understanding that the Federation of Kenya Employers was able to negotiate with the government and the Central Organization of Trade Union on behalf of the employers, and in an agreement with the workers, they have explored all the means, including having people go on leave, having people go on unpaid leave, reduction in pay cuts, but they're still in a very, very precarious condition. The other aspect that came out from this
details
survey,
there, sir, if you could allow me to cut you short, because again, we're out of time. But then let's talk about what this means for the economy, because the less productive people are, it means the more dependent they are on other people. So what does this mean for the economy?
What it means for the economy is that we have a lot of social stress because many people don't have money in their pocket. And it just means that the strategy that works is one that ensures people go back on jobs. And not only that, but they are also able to get the required kind of income to help them. And so it means that the recovery strategy that will first be able to put us very fast on to bounce back is one that helps the enterprises get back people to work. And the direct intervention of the government in supporting the employers, we have suggested as the Federation that what we need in the country is to set up a wage support fund where the employers can be able to withdraw. Now, I'll give you an example of what we are having. Like, for example, we have a Kazi Mtaani program. Now, can we use part of these funds, instead of just allowing the youths to work outside there and on the type of jobs that are not sustainable, if we can get these youths work in factories, and with an agreement that as the economy moves up and as the enterprises bounces back, then they can be able to offer sustained employment to these youth. It is going to be very, very helpful. to the economy.
Lastly, sir, let's talk about what more the government can do to cushion Kenyans in the wake of all this. Because again, if I could refer to your survey, Mr. Obiro, you said that the survey revealed that the government mitigation measures were not as effective in averting the effects of COVID-19 on employment.
Yes, the one thing the government can do to help the people of this country is to get them back to the employment. And that is direct intervention to the enterprises, giving directly funds to the enterprises to be able to have the employees on jobs. What we are seeing currently is that many of the enterprises are not able to afford payment of the salaries, and that's why they have resorted to pay cuts and leaves and unpaid leaves and all that. To correct that, the key intervention that is needed from government is to avail more funds to the enterprises, not just through the credit guarantee schemes, but direct interventions where funds are availed, and when the enterprises are not able to afford the payment of salaries, these funds can go a long way to pay salaries and then get the people work. What we are seeing is that there was almost a stop in the economy in some enterprises. They just need a jump starting to be given that opportunity to return their employees back, and then the economy will start moving forward.
Indeed. Thank you so much, sir. That's all the time we had. Thank you, Mr. Stephen Obiro, the Head of Advocacy, Communication and Partnership at the Federation of Kenya Employers. Thank you, sir, for finding the time.